Well, good morning, JMU. Let's try that one more time. Good morning, JMU. Well, before we begin, let's give one more round of applause for our marching Royal Dukes for setting a great tone this morning. Welcome to the 2025 University Welcome and Lunch. It's so great to have you here with us this morning. My name is Dr. David Kirkpatrick, and I serve as Vice President and Chief of Staff in the Office of the President, as well as an Associate Professor in our Department of Philosophy and Religion here on campus. It's great to have everyone back together this morning on campus in the Atlantic Union Bank Center. Thank you for being here with us in person, and thank you for those of you who are joining us on the live stream as well this morning. It's a great opportunity for us to begin this year as a team, as we recognize the incredible work that's happened this past year, and we look to gain new ground together. Choose your metaphor, and it's true of JMU. Our stock is at an all-time high. We're firing on all cylinders. We planted our flag on a new summit, or a goldfish on roller skates. Wait, that one's not. That one, not all metaphors, but good metaphors. That's true of JMU. It's an exciting time to be here together and an exciting year ahead of us as well. We're going to hear more of that from our speakers here this morning. So our run of show, we'll hear from our interim provost, Bob Kolvoord, regarding JMU's continued journey as a national research university. We'll hear updates from our director of athletics, Matt Roan, with exciting highlights for the year ahead in athletics. I'll announce this year's Purple Star Award winners. And lastly, our newest JMU Duke and 7th President Jim Schmidt will share regarding JMU's exciting future ahead. Before I introduce our provost, I want to say a few words of thanks to people who made this morning possible. I want to thank our university events team, Sarah, Jeff, Amethyst, and Kara, Brandy Duncan, Bangali Diakite, Cindy Chiarella, and Tina Grace in the president's office, as well as our facilities and JMU catering teams, JMU athletics, our wonderful interpreters, among many, many others who made this morning possible. Please join me in thanking that team. Also, a quick note for the prizes this morning for RSVPing today. When you were coming in, the names were scrolling on the screen above you for the prize winners. They'll also scroll, if you didn't pay attention to that, after the event today. We have a variety of fantastic prizes, the most we've ever had in the history of this event. And I want to thank our JMU, Harrisonburg, and Rockingham community partners for their generosity and support in providing a wonderful array of prizes. So if you win a prize today, you'll receive an email in the next couple days to arrange pickup or delivery of those prizes, so keep an eye out for those. It's now my pleasure to introduce our brilliant and innovative interim provost, Bob Kolvoord, who'll share more about our exciting year ahead and about JMU's academic mission. Provost Kolvoord.
Watch out for that first step, it's a doozy. Well, good morning. Welcome to the 2025-2026 school year. For many of you, this is welcome back. And whether you're in your first couple of years of service or you're a seasoned veteran, we're glad you're here. For our newcomers, we're delighted you've chosen to join us and take the next step in your career with JMU. This is a remarkable community of staff and faculty, and your presence makes it even better. I am the aforementioned Bob Kolvoord. I'm not so sure about the brilliant part, but we'll give it a shot this morning. My role in the festivities today, along with Matt Roan, is to serve as the warm-up act for the president. We'll try and work in the best tradition of warm-up acts, so that is, be entertaining, be quick, and be gone. We start this semester coming off a particularly challenging year for higher ed, with many wondering about the value of what we offer and how we do our work. And yet, amidst the criticism, we had another impactful year. We helped 4,575 students walk across the stage, that was right over there, and earn their degrees in May. We welcomed nearly 5,000 new full-time first-year students last fall, and another 4,985 are coming just a couple of days from now. Our retention and graduation rates are the envy of our peers. Our students are both well-educated and career-ready when they leave us, as evidenced by our strong job placements and high student satisfaction ratings. And people are noticing. JMU is making its mark on the national stage, and we're seeing the results in all types of polls and rankings. I have one more analogy for you here, David. If we were a song, we'd be moving up the Billboard charts with a bullet. It takes all of us to make this happen, and I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for the work that you do every day to support our students and our institution. We could not reach the outcomes we've achieved or build the reputation we have without everyone's contributions. In academic affairs, we see that every day through the work of our partners in administration and finance, as they build and maintain the campus environment that we prize and keep the business processes and IT systems running. Through the efforts of access and enrollment management, as they continue to recruit promising students to our classrooms and sort the details of financial aid to enable them to study here. With the work of philanthropy and engagement, as they bring new resources to support JMU. By our colleagues in athletics, as they bring the excitement of competition and winning to campus, and Matt will tell you more about that in a minute. Via the efforts of student affairs, who create such a supportive and nurturing environment for our students. And finally, with our partners in research, economic development, and innovation, as they bolster scholarship and innovation across campus. It takes a village to educate our students, and on behalf of all of the staff and faculty in academic affairs, we're delighted to continue to partner with you. Let me take just a moment to focus on academic affairs, as we have some exciting activities on deck for the coming year. We're getting ready to revise our core curriculum, general education. These are the courses that every student takes, and we've got some innovative new ideas on the table to prepare our students for the world that awaits them, a world that's very different from the mid-1990s when we last had a major revision. We're also going to continue this year to think deeply about artificial intelligence, AI, and how and when it should be used in the classroom, but we'll also think about what skills and knowledge our students need to have to use AI productively and ethically as they move into the workforce. And finally, we're teaming with student affairs to build on the Okanagan Charter we adopted last year, as we continue to consider how we can center health and well-being in everything we do on campus. You'll be hearing much more about these efforts in the months ahead. It's also my task to give you an update on Reengineering Madison on behalf of my co-chair, Robin Bryan, and the rest of the Reengineering Madison Steering Committee. It was a big year in the life of the project, and there's even more ahead. As a reminder, Reengineering Madison is a decade-long project focused on replacing our core IT infrastructure and systems and bringing us an array of modern tools to do our work. In the last year, we continued to expand the implementation of Salesforce, our constituent relations management CRM tool. We're using the CRM primarily in admissions, advancement, and advising to better track our interactions with prospective students, donors and alumni, and our current students. And we'll be continuing to bring new units into the CRM as this year progresses. Thanks to the hard work of our colleagues in IT, we replaced our access and identity management system. Goodbye Duo, hello Okta. After a great deal of planning and preparation, the switchover happened just after spring break last year, and it went remarkably smoothly. Well done, IT. And we've yet to hear a single complaint about anyone not getting to change their password every 3 months. There are more features to Okta that will continue to improve the user experience that you'll see roll out in the coming year. We're also working to adopt some new communication strategies to replace the many emails we each receive every day with a daily digest, and you'll be hearing more about this soon. The big thrust of this year is the core goal of the project, replacing our enterprise systems. That's HR, finance, and student, moving from PeopleSoft to a new Oracle Cloud system. We do like longevity here at JMU. Like Gen Ed, PeopleSoft came to us in the 1990s. We're getting started on HR and finance, and there'll be a great deal of planning and design that will happen this year as we anticipate a 2027 rollout of the new systems. The student system will follow soon after this work is done. These changes will impact us all, and we'll continue to communicate about them and the rest of Reengineering Madison through the usual channels in our website. One thing we realized early on in the Reengineering Madison project effort is that at its heart, it's not a technology project, it's actually a people project. And as a consequence, from the outset, we've focused on developing a change management strategy to help the campus prepare and adapt to this change. Working with a very talented pair of Jennifers, Testa and Campfield, and folks from each division, we're building opportunities to help support you as we move to the new systems and to help you take best advantage of them. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, we've navigated 2 presidential transitions in the last 13 months. We had our first ever interim president as Charlie King took the reins and carried us forward after Jonathan Alger moved to American University. And now we're in the early days of the presidency of the 7th president of JMU, James Schmidt. And this will probably be the only time you ever hear him referred to as James. I've been on the road with Jim several times since he arrived, and I've seen his passion for JMU and our future that he shares with the alumni and business executives he's talked to. Jim is committed to improving connections with our community partners, a number of whom are here today, and with each other. I've also seen Jim's creative side as he brings 4 decades of higher ed experience and wisdom to the possibilities of our campus and Harrisonburg. His excitement is palpable, and his focus on students is paramount. It makes me look forward, as we all are, to partnering with Jim and figuring out what comes next for JMU. It's a seminal moment in the history of the institution, and you'll be hearing a lot more from Jim in just a few minutes. Let me conclude by once again thanking each and every one of you for the work you do every day to advance JMU. I'm ready. Let's get this year started. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Kolvoord. One of the privileges I have in my job is I get to meet a lot of impressive leaders. I can say with confidence that we have one of the best athletic directors in the country. It's my pleasure to introduce our Director of Athletics here at JMU, Matt Roan.
Well, thank you, David. I appreciate those kind words, and as a competitive person, I will assume that that is inclusive of both brilliant and innovative as well. But good morning. Just that as it is, when the Dukes compete in this beautiful facility, it's so great to see such a large turnout here at this event, which it appears to me, in looking around, is almost double the number that we had last August. We're especially thankful to so many elected officials and community leaders who have joined us here today. and the incredibly humble person that I am, and our staff will tell you that I'm probably the most humble person that I know, I have no doubt that this crowd is due to my stirring remarks last year, some of you wanting an encore, others coming to hear what all the fuss is about, and absolutely nothing to do with wanting to hear from a person whose name rhymes with President Schmidt. Mr. President, I'm going to do my very best to get the crowd fired up for you and take the advice of Bob. But I've told the story before when news of my hire was made official last April on social media that the first bit of unsolicited advice that I received from a very passionate fan was to not mess this up, although his language was only slightly more colorful. But now, nearly 16 months into my role, I'm hopeful that you feel that we have continued the established, incredible work of so many talented people and the remarkable trajectory of this athletics department here at JMU. That said, and here comes that humility again, I'm extremely confident in our ability to continue elevating and expanding the athletics program here. This year, which was our first as full FBS members, we secured 5 regular season championships, 3 conference postseason titles, we set numerous competitive records, and we had 3 coaches earn Coach of the Year honors, among so many other accolades. But as proud as we are of our competitive success, we are equally proud of the uncompromised excellence our student athletes display, and that despite seismic change happening all around them, which most of you are well aware and which I'll describe later, they continue representing all that is right in intercollegiate athletics academically, individually, and as competitively, but not just in their sport. We take incredible pride in graduating champions and leaders here. We continue to retain and graduate our student athletes at incredibly high rates. We are the envy of our peers in this regard, and each of you in this room plays a role. From our incredible faculty who pour into student athletes both inside and outside the classroom, to the staff who make the places and process we enjoy on this campus so focused and friendly to students. I was pleased to work with our staff this past year to develop the Game Changer Initiative, and we look forward to continuing to recognize you for the outstanding work you do at our football games this fall. In total, we strive to shine the brightest possible purple spotlight on the work each and every single one of you do every day. Although biased, I do believe there is a correlation between the record-setting applications, the increasing quality of our students, as evidenced by our ever-competitive admit rate, alumni engagement, donor participation, and the success that the Dukes put on display for fans everywhere, as well as those who may have not yet come to know JMU to eventually see. Illustrative of this point is the fact that our Duke Club had a record-breaking year this past fiscal year. We've sold out 10 of our last 12 home football games. JMU Sports Properties had a remarkable year and will continue to innovate. Men's basketball was 3rd in average attendance, and women's basketball topped the conference in attendance this past season as well. We've been vocal that our goal for this year is 6 for 6 in football, and we want both basketball programs to be on top in the standings and also in these seats that you sit in. The same can be said for the Convocation Center, Centera Park, Veterans Memorial Park, field hockey, and anywhere else we compete. And in those venues, we hope that you're enjoying a memorable experience. Because of what I'll discuss next, it's more important than ever for us to have a business revenue generating mindset. That's what we are, and there's still nowhere to go but up in these categories and other strategic ones. I can assure you that our foot is on the gas. With this summer's House settlement finally being approved, and the key points of which you can see on the screens to my left and right, we have officially ushered in a new era of intercollegiate athletics. And while I will acknowledge it's not perfect, it is progress, and we're continuing to work with Anthony and his team and others on a more perfect solution at the federal level. I will also acknowledge and give credence to the feelings that some, if not a lot of you have about this era. But I want to stress that we have to lean into it, 1, because it positively impacts our student athletes and benefits them, and 2, because we must. Whether we like the rules or not, whether we like the new era that we've entered into, we must play by the rules, we must embrace this era and innovate in order to be successful. As I stood in front of you last year, I talked about our commitment to being a broad-based program. That remains true today. While there are numerous examples at autonomous 4 conference schools all the way to the lowest resource FCS and one AAA institutions, those are those who don't play football, cutting programs and personnel to reallocate those dollars to student athletes, We didn't show anyone the door in order to keep a student athlete from walking out of one. Instead, we are emphasizing and striving to again maximize our revenue generation efforts, and we went through an extensive exercise in the spring and the summer to identify, develop, and execute on operational efficiencies. And I want to give a ton of credit to our athletics administration team and our head coaches especially, because that process has not been an easy one. But it is a necessary one and will be better as we move forward because of it, all the while protecting what we cherish the most, and that is the student athlete and the stakeholder experiences. For those student athletes who are having their scholarships enhanced as we move forward, they will have to do things beyond play a sport. They will be ambassadors involved in events like Choices, orientation, alumni and donor events. They'll make calls to thank ticket holders and do so much more. I ask each of you to help us provide those opportunities, and this is another one of many uniquely JMU approaches that we have, of which we are immensely proud. In closing, I want to thank each of you for allowing all of us inside of athletics, our student athletes, our coaches, our staff, our administration, myself, to represent you. I hope that we are a point of pride for you, but regardless, please know that we always endeavor to be. We are also thankful to have President Schmidt here leading us now. I have been impressed with his energy and amazed at his vision to make this special place even greater. With the different people on this campus and in the community on the same team, I'm fired up to see his grand visions realized. And as I've shared with our student athletes as we've gone through compliance meetings, in my very first meeting with the president, I asked what his expectations are for athletics, and he replied that he wants us to emphasize academics, which we do. He wants us to produce great citizens, which we do. And he said that as long as we're keeping score, let's have one more than the other team. To that, Mr. President, I say let's go undefeated this year. Thank you for the opportunity to be with y'all today, and go Dukes.
Thank you, Matt. It's now my pleasure to announce the winners of the 2025 President's Purple Star Awards. Each year, we're reminded of the impact made by JMU faculty and staff through the impressive nominations we receive for the President's Purple Star Awards. Selecting winners is never easy, given the outstanding work that so many are doing here on our campus and in the community. Today's recipients are among the best and brightest of our university family. Thank you to all of you who submitted nominations for this year's awards, and to the Purple Star Awards Committee for their diligent work as well. These awards honor the contributions of faculty and staff whose efforts contribute to the success of the university and our local community. Their efforts create lasting impact in the lives of local citizens, our students, and among their peers as faculty and staff. I'd like to invite this year's winners to stand as their name is called to be recognized. After the event has ended, award winners should come on stage for photos with President Schmidt to honor your achievement. Our first award is the Career Achievement Award. The employee nominated for the Career Achievement Award has a record of consistent achievement over time that has made JMU a better place to work, learn, and live. It is my pleasure to announce that this year, the 2025 Career Achievement Award honor goes to Roger Sankson. Roger began his career at JMU, then Madison College, in 1976. This year, he begins his 49th and final year of service at JMU. Roger's nominators highlight his teaching and tutoring of thousands of students across 13 different communications courses. Roger is an active scholar specializing in free press issues, knowledge he uses to guide faculty, students, and the university through challenging situations. His mentorship of colleagues and junior faculty have helped many navigate the promotion process, allowing JMU to retain amazing faculty. One of his most notable roles is serving as faculty athletics representative. In this position, he serves as a resource for student athletes and a bridge between JMU athletics and academic affairs. For his impactful work over these many years, it is not surprising that Dr. Sankson was nominated for the Sun Belt's Faculty Member of the Year in 2023. Roger, your leadership and guidance over the last 49 years has helped shape the success and direction of James Madison University. We thank you for your incredible contributions. Congratulations on the Career Achievement Award, Dr. Roger Sankson. The Star Duke Award. This award goes to 2 employees committed to fostering the university's mission with consistent excellence, going above and beyond what is expected, innovating, and demonstrating significant commitment to the university and its success. This year, the Star Duke Award goes to Veronica Hahn and Arena Scott. For the past several years, Drs. Hahn and Scott have partnered together in providing free tax advice and preparation to members of the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County communities. With many of their clients being English language learners, Drs. Hahn and Scott partner with business Spanish students, providing translation and thoughtful support. In one impactful example, their nominator shared that a community member client recently thought that he owed $2,000, but instead learned that he actually should receive a $10,000 return instead. That's it. This interdisciplinary team has prepared over 500 tax returns and saved in-need community members hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I will say as well, I've seen them personally late nights in the College of Business providing that tax advice. We're so grateful for that. In addition to improving the lives of our community members, this work positively impacted the lives of their JMU students. Students reported increased confidence, a strong sense of community building, as well as a sense of reward in helping others in our community. Dr. Hahn and Scott embody JMU's values of community engagement, changing the lives of our local residents for the better through purposeful and selfless support. Congratulations, Dr. Veronica Hahn, and Arana Scott, the Star Duke Award winners. Unsung Hero. This award recognizes an employee who usually toils out of the limelight with excellence and dedication. An employee who would never seek an award or recognition, but strongly deserves it. The 2025 Unsung Hero Award recipient is Shauna Moore. For the past 15 years, Shauna has served the JMU Police Department, overseeing all technology, correspondence, and relationships with the Harrisonburg-Rockingham Emergency Communications Center and coordination with the Virginia State Police. Shauna's nominator shared a pivotal moment in her career, underscoring her role as an unsung hero. Quote, when a failed installation from a vendor threatened the operational effectiveness of JMU PD, Shauna stepped into the space to ensure operational readiness. On top of this, she worked for 18 straight hours on this one problem to ensure officers in the field could communicate effectively with each other and our dispatch center. While this is impressive in its own right, this challenge occurred on one of the most demanding days for JMU PD, the Garber Hall fire. After hours of working with JMU IT and coordinating with other external agencies, JMU PD remained able to provide the world-class police and dispatch service the JMU community remains accustomed to on a daily basis. Shauna, thank you for your proactive leadership and commitment to keeping our university safe. We're proud to recognize Shauna Moore as our unsung hero. Embracing innovation and change. This individual or team demonstrates purposeful creativity through collaborative processes leading to knowledge creation, learning, and excellence. This year, the winners of the Embracing Innovation and Change Award are the Quality Enhancement Plan Steering Committee, Drs. Holly Hall, Paul Mabry, Rudy Molina, and Jonathan Stewart. JMU boasts one of the best retention rates in the country. Understanding our student population and our institutional data has been key to this success. The QEP committee designed and implemented the Early Student Success System, ESSS, and launched the Student Success Research Fellows, elevating the university's profile and is significantly improving how JMU supports its most at-risk students. Their work addressed long-standing institutional challenges, such as siloed student support services, stagnant retention rates, and equity gaps among student populations. Since implementing the new ESSS, I'm not going to say that 10 times fast, system in 2022, there's been a 2% increase in overall retention, up to 91.9% in 2023, which is remarkable. The QEP committee plans to expand their work to greater student populations, as well as further cross-disciplinary programs supporting student, staff, and faculty success. Thank you to the members of the QEP committee for your contributions to our students and the university's continued success. Congratulations on receiving the Embracing Innovation and Change Award. The Leading Together Award. This individual or team leads purposefully, intentionally, and with integrity to enact needed long-term change with the guidance and voices of all constituents. The 2025 Leading Together Award recipients are the Office of Research Development, Office of Sponsored Programs, and Office of Sponsored Programs Financial Administration. The recipients of the Leading Together Award established themselves as agile partners during these constantly changing times in higher education. In early 2025, as federal funding policies shifted and guidance rapidly changed alongside, these teams navigated an ever-changing landscape while providing constant and reliable support. A few examples of their adaptiveness and responsiveness include creating centralized research-focused website resources, providing customized one-on-one support to researchers impacted by funding changes, collaborating across divisions to assess the impact of new directives and co-develop strategic responses, and equipping JMU leadership and the Board of Visitors with timely data and actionable insights. Their nominator lauded their courage to question the status quo, their vision to imagine a strong future for JMU research, and their dedication to building it through cross-institutional collaboration. Thank you for your unwavering support and collaborative leadership, and congratulations to members of the Office of Research Development, Office of Sponsored Programs, and Office of Sponsored Programs Financial Administration on the Leading Together Award. Last but not least is the Student Focused Success and Learning Award. This individual or team engages with and actively listens to all students with their learning and development in mind and provides experiences that challenge and support students. This year, the winner of the Student Focused Success and Learning Award is the Support and Advocacy Team. Working at a university, we watch our students grow throughout their time with us. They experience many firsts, first time away, living away from their families, the joy of making new friends, and the excitement of discovering new knowledge. We also watch some students face very difficult challenges, ones they may not be ready to handle on their own. The Support and Advocacy Team provides support and care for students who are not at imminent risk to self or others, but that risk cannot be ruled out. SAT is a cross-divisional team working in consultation across campus, monitoring risk, and making recommendations for early interventions. Through their work, SAT has guided many students through critical challenges. One student shared, quote, "I'm very grateful for all the time and support that SAT provided me this past semester, which, as you know, was very difficult for me. Our weekly meetings, especially in the beginning, helped me a ton and really did make a difference. I think that without them, there was a serious possibility that I would no longer be a Duke." That's it. That makes me emotional. That quote speaks volumes. Thank you, members of the Support and Advocacy Team, for guiding our students through such crucial moments. You represent the best of us, and we're grateful for your tireless care for our students. Congratulations to this team as recipients of the 2025 Leading Together Award. Please join me once again in congratulating all of our Purple Star Award winners for their inspiring achievements this year. Before we welcome our main presenter, President Schmidt, we have a chance. I was trying to think of a joke on the fly. I couldn't think of it. Because we've had kind of almost introductions of President Schmidt, and we're finally here. But before, one more false introduction, before we get to President Schmidt, we have a chance to get to know him a little bit better through this brief video.
Well, hello, come on in.
President Schmidt, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule.
I'm glad you're here, but please call me President Jim. I want people to know my real name.
President Jim it is. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. You have any kids?
I have 3 sons, Hunter, Andrew, and Ben.
And any grandkids?
Oh, do I ever. Aren't you, I mean, all right, if you insist, I will show you a picture of her. So this is Maxine. Maxine is spelled with a Y. They call her Maxie. She's just over 4 months old. Of course, the most beautiful child to ever walk the face of the earth.
What's one thing in your office that has a story behind it?
Well, I got stories all over the place. Over in the corner here, I have a piece of the Berlin Wall.
What's your favorite thing about Harrisonburg so far?
This past Saturday, I took in the farmer's market for the first time and left with quite a haul.
What most surprised you about JMU students?
The level of earnestness of this student body. I did a little secret shopper trip back here in January. When I spoke to students, they didn't know who I was. No one asked me who I was when I was asking them. But I asked them, why did they choose JMU? What do they love most about it? And what do they hope to do when they're done? And I got inspiring stories, but more importantly, I stepped back and I just watched students, and the campus was full. 3rd week in January, early in the semester, students studying everywhere. That earnestness is something that most people don't always see in this generation, but I do.
Favorite spot on campus?
Well, you know, I actually had 2, and they're kind of for very different reasons. I love the Arboretum. I actually visited that in January, and it was still beautiful in January, very peaceful. And I'll go to the other extreme. I'm imagining what football game days are going to be like in the stadium as well.
Well, you have to get to D Hall for lunch. Mind if we keep chatting?
No, please, let's go.
If you could take one class at JMU, what would it be?
How do you tell someone at a buffet table that you can only have one thing? The rich academic offerings of this university are unbelievable. But being in Virginia, celebrating a 250th anniversary of the country, I think I would start with a Virginia history course.
If you could teach one class at JMU, what would it be?
Oh, you know, I could certainly teach them political science, business, higher ed policy. I have degrees in all of them, but I would probably roll up my sleeves and teach a course on leadership.
What kind of legacy do you hope to leave at JMU?
Well, first of all, it is with actually great humility that I step in as the 7th president of the university. And among the things I'm most grateful for are the great JMU culture that was established somewhere in the last 100+ years. So my first legacy is to make sure that that culture continues, that sense of excellence, caring for one another, and making a difference in the world. Beyond that, during my time here, I hope that we can further modernize our facilities, provide the necessary infrastructure and resources so that our faculty and staff can provide the very best education for our students. And one of the signature areas that I work on are on interdependent partnerships. How can we work with the private and nonprofit sectors to provide even greater opportunity for our students and help provide the resources necessary?
What's your favorite dining spot on campus?
Well, that's a trick question. I know there's this warring debate over D Hall versus E Hall. Gratefully, I've only been to them a few times, and I have to say the food seems good all over campus, which is going to fight my goal of being a little bit smaller version of myself, so we'll see how we do.
What is the one thing you want students, faculty, and staff to know about you?
That I'm interested in getting to know you. All the grandiose ideas from a university president are just that, ideas. How you get ideas into execution is through the support, the willingness, and confidence that people have in you among the faculty, staff, and students. So I'm very, very hopeful that faculty, staff, and students will take that seriously. I want people to come up and say hi to me when they see me on campus. Please don't let my title get in the way of coming up and talking to me.
President Jim, thanks for being with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Enjoy your lunch.
I will do. I'm going to try to avoid the desserts, though, so thank you.
As both Matt and Bob have attested to, over the past several months, I've been deeply impressed by our new president's kindness, vision, and ability to identify already where opportunities exist for JMU's exciting next stage. I'm honored to welcome our next speaker, the 7th president of James Madison University. He joins us with a wealth of experience and clear dedication to JMU's mission, ready to work alongside all of us in taking us to the next level. Please join me in welcoming President Jim Schmidt.
Well, with all the nice things people have said about me, I don't see how I can improve upon this, but we'll give it a try anyway. So good morning, Dukes. It is so good to see you all here as we begin the semester together. And a warm welcome to all of those of you who are joining remotely as we kick off what I know will be another great year at JMU. I want to thank David for hosting, Provost Kolvoord and AD Matt Roan for their updates, and all of the division heads for their leadership over the past year. And I want to add my congratulations to the Purple Star winners. You truly exemplify the JMU way and our commitment to excellence and our students. Let's give them one more round of applause. I want to introduce some important guests who are here with us today, and would you just stand and as I call on you so we can give you a JMU welcome? First of all, Board of Visitor member Tom Galati and student representative to the Board of Visitors, Sydney Stafford. Would you please stand? I thought I was properly purpled out today so that you would really know, but Tom, will you just come up here? They need to see your shoes. Just do a little spin on the catwalk for us. We've got our little competition here going. Members of the Harrisonburg City Council, city government leaders, city economic development, would you please stand? We also have members of the Rockingham County leadership, including Board of Supervisors, Clerk of Courts, County Economic Development. Would you please stand? We have local industry and economic development partners, including leaders from Go Virginia Region 8, Arts Council of the Valley, Central Shenandoah Planning District Commission, the Boys and Girls Club of Harrisonburg and Rockingham County, Centera, Atlantic Union Bank, Huntington National Bank. Would you please stand? Thank you for being here. I'm also honored that we have leaders from local faith community here with us as well. Could I ask those folks to please stand? Thank you for being a part of our community. I also want to recognize members of the Faculty Senate and the Employee Advisory Committee. Would you please stand to be recognized? And front and center, we also have members of the JMU student government. I'm so pleased our Dukes got out of bed early to join us this morning. I also just appreciate the little rise here. I came from a university that had a phenomenal marching band. We thought we were pretty big at 475, but I can't wait to see you folks in action and in full strength. Let's give another round of applause for the band. Stand up, band, come on. And finally, if you are new to the JMU family, as am I, if you're a new faculty or staff member who joined us this year, would you stand so everyone can give you a great big JMU hug? I can't tell you how excited I am to be your 7th president of this amazing, great university community. It's only been 6 weeks since I pulled my U-Haul up to the house, packed. I had a coffee pot, the most important thing, enough boxes and clothes to get me through the summer till the rest of our belongings arrive. But in those 6 weeks, I've made it a point to get to know you, this community, and the Commonwealth as quickly as I can. I've taken a tour of campus, checked out the Kissing Rock, visited the new Carrier Library. Oh my God, is that gonna be great. It's on track for opening next year. And I scoped out the best spot for viewing the sunset on this incredibly beautiful campus. I did not check out the tunnels under the quad yet, but to Tawana, I'm saying I want the tour, especially in the middle of winter. On day one, it's important what a president does on their first day in office. On day one, I met with local legislators, the mayor, the Employee Advisory Committee, and Faculty Senate leadership. You need to know that I believe higher education superpower that most people don't understand is our shared governance model, because together we are stronger, and that's what our future looks like. Within my first couple of weeks, I had lunch with the Academic Council, and I was blown away by their enthusiasm for innovation. I chatted with new Dukes and their parents during orientation. Look out, they're a great class. They're going to give us a run for our money. They are engaged and excited to be here. I met with fellow Sunbelt Conference university presidents in Atlanta. We are ready for this season. Met with Sydney Stafford, the student representative to the Board of Visitors, and Charlotte Bronaugh, our SGA presidents. They are impressive young leaders, and when people question the future of this country, I say, look at these two women. Our future is in good hands. Thank you for being here. The vice presidents were wondering why I was running all over the Commonwealth instead of meeting with them. Finally, I got a chance a couple weeks ago. We held a little retreat of the division heads out at the JMU farm. Boy, for those of you who haven't been out there, those are 29 acres of pure heaven where we kept getting distracted by the eagles that were soaring overhead, but we did get some work accomplished. Looking a little further afield, I've always valued the close connection between campus and community. I met with Mayor Reed, City Manager Andy Banks, and the city government leadership, as well as County Administrator Casey Armstrong. And we all agreed what's good for our community is good for our university, and vice versa. We are interdependent. We intend to partner in even more ways moving forward. Thank you for your early support and encouragement. Speaking of partners, during my first few weeks, I've crisscrossed the Commonwealth. I was trying to figure out the mileage on my car. I've logged over 3,000 miles in the last 6 months. We've been crisscrossing, talking to important financial supporters of the university, expanding the opportunities for our friends and alumni philanthropically to support this university will be a high priority for me. The response I've received to date has been electric. I've had one-on-one meetings with more than 60 different people from Senator Obenshain to donors and board members and corporate leaders across the region. Additionally, I've met with groups of alumni and friends gathered to support athletics, and more than 50 alumni who all work at CarMax in Richmond, where the CEO is a Duke. Over the next few weeks and months, I'll be walking campus as much as I can. So when you see me, please come up and introduce yourself to me. I want to get to know every one of you. I'm a little slow on names, so give me a little room on that. In fact, in the coming weeks, I will be out meeting with each college and each division, as well as going on a listening tour with alumni, business, and civic leaders to hear what makes JMU great and how we can be even better. More on that later. And finally, I've stocked up on my purple and gold apparel and my Duke's merch, and I'm ready for football season and the marching band. That was a cue, that was a cue. I'm also looking forward to cheering on the volleyball, field hockey, cross country, and both soccer teams this fall. Looking forward to getting a few rings coming out of this. National championships, that's what we're aiming for. The only thing you're going to see in my office, by the way, of my previous place, I just have to say this, I brought with me, and athletics put it in a little kind of shadow box, 7 national championship rings for national teams in the last 12 years. I teased them as I was leaving in the spring. I still had 3 fingers left, so we'll get those 3 fingers figured out really soon, Matt. Well, we've been busy meeting as many people as we can. The responses I get when I ask people to tell me what they think of JMU is really beyond belief. It's like turning on the faucet, and out come the ideas and the response for the effectiveness of this university. And that's about all of you. Buildings are great. We need good buildings to do our work. But it's the personal attention that you give our students that makes the huge difference. And know that I'll never forget that. To a person, every civic, business, and philanthropic leader I've met with has told me that JMU is transformative. We're having a real impact on the lives of the people they employ and on the economic and entrepreneurial health of the Commonwealth, as well as the civic health of the region. Confidentially, I shouldn't be saying this because it's just bad form in my first speech, but confidentially, I love the story from a colleague president who will remain nameless, don't want to embarrass anyone, who complained that businesses say they prefer our grads over theirs. Can you imagine how annoying that would be to hear as a president? I don't ever want to hear that. They prefer our grads over theirs because ours are grounded, able to work collaboratively, and know how to work hard. Be proud of our graduates, JMU. They are a reflection of you. I've seen and heard tremendous support for the research efforts across departments and the difference that it's making locally and globally. If you haven't seen the summer issue of Madison magazine, be sure to give it a read. The headline statistic says it all. 70% of our external grant funding, which has doubled in the last 5 years, by the way, 70% involves public service and community outreach, involving partnerships like groups such as the Shenandoah Valley Partnership to programs for students with disabilities. These collaborations are having a direct and vital impact on the quality of life here in the Shenandoah Valley and beyond. In an inspiring example, I've had the privilege of meeting with a group of blind and vision impaired middle and high school students during my first few weeks on campus. They were energized by what JMU is helping them to learn and achieve. And some of the students from previous years are actually now current JMU students. JMU continues to open doors and to widen its doors, providing greater access to students across the Commonwealth and beyond. But you know, I've been particularly moved by a simple gesture that I think gets to the heart of JMU and what you all live and breathe every day. The simple act of holding the door for fellow students, colleagues, and visitors. It's no huge thing, but it blew me away when I did my secret shopper visit to campus in January after I applied for the job. Opening doors for each other isn't an enormous effort, but it communicates so much. It says that we believe in civility and respect, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you believe in, or where you're going. It says individuals are important enough for me to pause in my day to give you the time and space to look you in the eye with caring appreciation. And it says a transformative education at a transformative place involves not only what we learn, but what we do. It involves our heads and our hearts. And that, Dukes, is why I'm so honored and privileged to be your 7th president as we create our future together. In so many ways, I stand on the shoulders of giants, the leaders, distinguished faculty, staff, students, and alumni who not only built our bluestone and mortar buildings and created the traditions that unite us, but also nurtured a culture that puts our students at the center and believes in the potential of every individual and genuinely cares about making a difference in the world. It is my goal to preserve and to protect this legacy every moment of my presidency. You have my pledge. What a foundation from which to look forward together to our shared future. Our enrollment is strong. We are growing as an R2 institution. We have world-class faculty and staff. Our student athletes excel on the playing field, and we have the energy to continue our mission to serve. Am I optimistic about the year ahead? You bet. But if you're worried that my glasses are a bit too rose-colored, let me assure you, I'm highly aware of the world around us and all that is impacting higher education. Just watch the news, or worse yet, do a little doom scrolling. You'll know that higher education in general is going through a rough patch. The value of a degree is being questioned. AI is radically changing how the workplace and how we learn, and the demise of civility is undermining the Academy's commitment to being a place for reflection and discussion of difficult and complex issues. In many ways, the old models for when, where, and how we learn, for the programs we offer, and for the experiences we foster are crumbling in the face of rapid shifts in societal expectations for our graduates and what exactly constitutes the public good. So it's a confusing time. Nevertheless, I continue to believe in the promise of higher education and the capacity of JMU to define and reinvent the learning and research for the next century. Colleagues, we have a noble purpose, and that is to make the world a better place through the confident, talented students we graduate, with the research and discovery that opens new doorways to possibility, and with the habits and practices of curiosity, collaboration, and service that we model as a campus community. In short, now is not the time to rest on our laurels or our long and storied history. Today, our challenges for our communities and our world require new eyes, new ideas, and a university ready to step up with courage. Our world needs JMU. More than 60 years ago, President John F. Kennedy issued a challenge that still resonates today. The world needs, he said, people who can dream things that never were and say, why not? Today, I ask you, can we come together this year, dream things that never were, and ask, why not JMU? I believe it's time for JMU to step out from behind the shadow of our sister universities, UVA, Virginia Tech, William and Mary, and make our own path to distinction. The long trampled pathways they travel are not our destination. We're looking for a new road, one uniquely suited to our history and strengths. It is our time to step up as leaders willing, as Captain James T. Kirk would say, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Not that many Trekkie fans, huh? He often went by Jim as well, though, so that's pretty good. I believe it's time for JMU to reimagine. Could be a little threatening, so buckle your seatbelts. It's time to reimagine what learning, research, and what leadership looks like for 2030 and beyond. We can be more nimble, more creative, and more people-focused than our competitors. Yes, I called them competitors. It's a tough world out there. I'm not talking about a change agenda for the year that imports a few new ideas and takes incremental steps. We're much better than that. I'm talking about an acceleration agenda. See, that's why you have to buckle your seatbelts. An acceleration agenda for JMU, turbocharging what we already do so well in ways that will truly pull us ahead and apart from every other institution. A vision that takes courage, imagination, and daring. So what if we dared to dream together this year? What if we decided to create a new model for higher education, undergraduate learning, one that addresses the head and the heart, and that would catapult JMU ahead of the pack? What if we created a new template for how we prepare the graduates that the Commonwealth and the world needs? Why not JMU? Imagine a JMU promise. A world-class education that erases the artificial boundaries between academic and non-academic learning and promises every student will graduate with a best-in-class knowledge in their major, as well as work-based learning, undergraduate research, and community service experiences. The ability to collaborate on wicked questions, highly honed power skills, that's going to be our new phrase, highly honed power skills like communication, civil discourse, leadership, and analytics, and the opportunities to study anywhere in the world. Imagine a JMU promise that assures employers that our graduates have the skills, aptitude, attitude, and resilience to propel their businesses forward. Imagine a JMU promise that mobilizes everyone on campus, from deans to classroom instructors to coaches and food service employees, to commit to assuring student retention and four-year graduation rates that are among the highest in the nation. Wow, that's a promise no one else is making. Why not JMU? I think it's a commitment worth making. Or imagine redefining what it means to be a research institution. Do it on our terms to increase the momentum around stellar graduate programs, growing and amplifying our commitment to addressing the challenges of our community and the Commonwealth, and in the process, sending ripples of innovation all over the world. Imagine integrating and enriching our graduate research efforts with undergraduate research. And I don't mean just washing test tubes, getting them involved up to their elbows. That effort in undergraduate research could set us apart in the scope and quality of experiences we actually offer all of our students. Opening wider our doors to undergraduate research will also fuel our graduate programs, as well as provide all of our students with the skills that add value to their future careers, honing their curiosity, their analytical ability, and their passion for innovation. What would such an integrated research institution look like? Surely it would be a new kind of research university. Why not reinvent the research university model? Why not JMU? Or imagine the impact we could have if we set our minds and hearts to address the big issues of our time. What if we made rural health care a priority and assembled the expertise and passion across all disciplines to create a program, maybe even a medical school, that would change how this state and this country meets the challenge of delivering high-quality, accessible care to our smallest rural communities? Why not JMU? Or what if we put the future of food and water as our university-wide priority? Not only an agricultural school, but professional schools and humanities departments could engage our students with grappling with the challenges that shape our regional health and economic stability. What can we mobilize in terms of intellectual expertise, energy, and engagement that would be game-changing? Why not JMU? In short, I'm asking you today to join me this year to dream things that never were and to ask, why not JMU? All of these ideas are just to demonstrate and to spark imaginations. I want to hear your ideas. What can we do that is truly daring? What are those conversations about our future? And how do we explore even more adventurous ways to propel JMU forward? This year, we can map out a new pathway that is less traveled and unique to us, to leave the status quo and our status quo competitors behind as we reinvent the future. My primary task this year will be to lead these discussions at JMU, not to mandate the ideas, but to listen, and to encourage a truly campus-wide visioning exercise. In conversation with the Board of Visitors, we will together create a new dynamic strategic vision for JMU that is future-focused and, dare I say, even somewhat revolutionary. Our Board of Visitors has asked us that we focus our planning on 5 key components in service to our bold vision. Our planning will prioritize the student experience. This is my personal, professional first principle, and I'm here at JMU because it is your mission as well. Second, our planning will support new partnerships and collaborations. We need partners to amplify, fund, and share our work. 3, we must also foster a culture of innovation, because that's what's good for students. To do that, we must become more comfortable with taking risks and to dare to be bold in whatever it is we choose to do. 4th, the plan should propel us to greater national prominence. We're already on the national stage. It's time to take the spotlight. And finally, our plan must help us promote JMU to prospective students, to friends, and to donors. I would add, I didn't get their permission, but I would add a 6th critical component to our planning. It should be anchored in and inspired by what we already do well. Rather than creating a laundry list of everything we do, which too many university plans do, the JMU plan will focus on 3 or 4 bold ideas that will truly take us into the future. So today, I'm announcing that we will be in an 8-month planning process, which is lightning speed for higher education. but more than enough time for us to come together to dream and to act. I'd like to thank the division heads in advance for their leadership and support they've already given this effort. You'll learn more about the process in the coming weeks, but here are some highlights. First, we listen. I can assure you that I do not have a secretly developed plan already in a desk drawer in my office. We will create a plan together as a campus community. And to do that, I need to listen. I have already mapped out a listening tour with our alumni and community leaders across the Commonwealth. Had to get those on the schedule. And then I'll be asking them what JMU can be best in the world at. And I know I'll get a lot of great answers. I've already heard so many cool ideas from huge partners in the region. I'll also need to hear from you. I plan to visit every college and every division throughout the fall. And I want to know what you do well, what challenges you want to address, what new dreams you are passionate about. And I'll also be scheduling broader opportunities for the entire campus community to share their ideas both virtually and at idea forums where everyone is invited so that we can inspire each other and ask, why not JMU? Second, we will envision. As we collect these ideas, I will be working with division heads, shared governance leaders, and the Board of Visitors to identify 3 to 5 core ideas that we want to refine and shape into our JMU vision. Then we'll form vision teams later in the fall to dive deeply into these ideas, working intensively to put meat on the bones of the idea. Those teams will be formed with faculty, staff, and student members. So if you want to be directly involved, watch for more details about our vision teams as they form later this fall. Third step, we actually create the plan. As the vision teams flesh out our key ideas, they will bring them back to the Board of Visitors and to this campus community for your feedback. Early next year, you'll be able to view and comment on the draft vision plan. Your perspective and recommendations are important. The final step, and this is the part that is usually missing from most campus strategic plans. Anyone want to guess? Execute. I actually use the word implement because it's a little bit easier. We have to implement. Execute, maybe. I'm a firm believer in planning and taking action. Our vision plan will be just the beginning. The real work comes when we are not only asking why not JMU, but more importantly, roll up your sleeves, look out, here comes JMU. Colleagues, we have great work to do. And at today's lunch, and also you'll find on this slide, is it appearing somewhere? I can't quite see, oh, it's right here, I can see it there. You'll see a QR code to share your ideas for JMU. I want to know what you think and where we're starting that conversation, which is today. So you can copy this link and begin sharing your ideas. I do hope you'll be part of the dialogue. They must have seen a copy of my speech. They're already getting ready to go. Oh, look at this. It says in closing, so that's it. It says, when the band stands up, shut up. Keep that in mind. You may want to use that technique sometime soon. In closing, I will leave with you a hopeful challenge. After only 6 weeks on the job as one of the newest Dukes, I'm more confident than ever that this university will continue to do great things. I believe in my heart that together we will change what the Commonwealth and the nation and world expects of higher education. We can lead that charge. Colleagues, the future for this university is truly boundless. Thank you so much for what you do every day, and go Dukes. Thank you. I now will invite you to join me in Festival for lunch and reconnecting with your colleagues. Find out what everybody's been doing on summer break, right? You know, that's just like being back in kindergarten. Lunch will be served across the street in the Festival Conference and Student Center. Buffet lines are in the lower drum and the grand ballroom. See you there. Let's have a great year.